So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Pavlo Ostrikov, and today we have our Film Wednesday once again. And if you see me, that basically we're going to be reading the unmade scripts yet that will go with the support of the Ukrainian Cultural Foundation. So, as the tradition goes, we're going to be reading throughout two very interesting short film scripts, and we're going to be having today Michel Lades and Alina Panasenko. They will tell you more about the scripts in a second, but basically, I would like to remind you that the main aim for us is to create the connection with you, with our audience, so you'll be able to send us your feedback. This is something that is always interesting to learn because we're always eager to hear what our audiences are thinking about the scripts that we're making, and I'm sure that it will be very interesting for our authors to know that their opinions about the scripts. So the script we're about to be discussing today is Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall by Alina Panasenko, and The Territory by Michel Lades. So I hope that it will be interesting. I hope it's going to be very live today. We are back to studio. This is a very good sign for all of us. It means that maybe the level of danger has increased, but the emotions increased as well. Hi. Hi, everyone. Hi, how you feel today? Cool, cool. It's a pleasure for me to be here today, and it's a pleasure for me to be able to hear the opinions about my scripts. Michelle, what about you? Yeah, cool. Everything's fine. Cool. I feel good. So this is the very first read of this script, the first draft. So I'm really interested to know your opinion, the opinion of the audience. So no one has read the script. Oh, my mom has read it. Your mom has read it. That's very good. Cool. Okay, Alina, I think you will start with your script. So I'm going to give a couple of words about your experience. You can just prove me wrong if something is wrong. You have been born in 2000, in year 2000 in Severodonetsk, and you have been graduating for the in the film Lyceum, and then you came to Kiev, and you have enrolled to the Kiev National University of Theatre and Film, named after Ivan Karpenko-Karym. Yes, right. That is. Yes, that was my dream, but you see, like you've stole it from me. Still, you have already made two films, so that was 12, 11, 7, and remember my word, mind my words. Yes, like my first film, then yes, that's what I've said. That's um, it's a very scary one. So I hate this film actually. It's just like it was a very cool experience for me of making my first film because it was very cool to make a first film. But then again, it's shorter three times than the first film. So it was much better, my second film. Well, I think you're overreacting a little bit because I think I've never shown my first film to anyone as well. And in my filmography, my first film is actually my second film, the second film I've made. But oh my God, I've said that in front of the cameras. That okay, never mind, forget about that. That was a joke. Still, so Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. Can you tell us why there is the title like that? Well, I have decided that I need to use this very poem in the title, but not just to take the very first line of it. Wasn't really like a good idea, but to take all of it, all the line of it was a little bit too much, and I thought that I can do that. But it's a working title, so basically, that I'm going to be using that, and so basically, so maybe the people who are going to be watching us today can offer their ideas for the title. Maybe you will like the title and you will receive nothing, but Alina will have another title. So this is how we work, basically. Okay, that was a joke, but maybe you would like to say something before you start reading the scripts, because then it will be too late. No, it's better to be late than never. So yeah, I will say nothing. Okay. Okay, so let us do the reading. Humpty Dumpty sat on the wall. Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. So Alina Panasenko, the floor is yours. Thank you. Thank you. So I shall start. Scene number one. Exterior, the cafe evening. That brick building that has a title restaurant on, there is an open terrace by that. There is a lot of drinks on the table. The very joyful music is playing. People are dressed celebratory, they're dancing. There are men dancing with elderly women pairs. There is Maria, 10 years, is being brought up by the best man. There is outside Maria, there are the bridesmaids who are talking to one another. Woman 1. Oh, he bought me recently. I'm trying to keep it up with the cream, but it doesn't help me. Her friend, you can use additional plugs up. It really helped me, but you have to actually clean it afterwards. The other woman says, like, oh, you shouldn't do that because Alona has got up to that. It's really hard for them to teach them later on. Olena, year 31, she is dancing with one of the guests. She has only one shoes on. The two young boys are taking the bride on her hands and they're dancing out and getting her from the outside. There is a man and a woman passing by, a lot of little children running around the dance floor. A man takes his shoes off and he's touching his feet. Yura, 36 years old, and the father of the bride, age 60, sitting by their side. Yura is dressed up into the wedding gown, into the wedding smoking. The father of the bride is trying to eat. He has the Parkinson disease. He can't move really fastly. The men are drinking. The best man has one shoes on his table. There is the glass of the vodka in the shoes. The best man takes it. Yura, naltrexone, the man one. To Yura, naltrexone, Yura answers. And how do you feel about that? Yura, haven't drunk for 2 months. Well, just a little bit of aching of stomach. That's it. His best man, Lena will cure you this evening. The man laughed. Yura, well, otherwise he wouldn't get married with me. There is a breakthrough at the waterline. Elder lady, you can only hear her, just a voiceover. The bride is stolen. The bride is stolen. Maria runs up to Yura. All of the guests becoming lively. Maria talking to Yura. My mother is stolen. My mother is stolen. Yura is trying to holding Maria's head, and she's getting out of his hands, is getting out of his reach. She's watching as her grandfather is trying to eat his soup. Scene number 2, exterior, yard, day. We can hear the children's voice. Maria and Vova, age 7, are sitting at the kinder's playground. You can see there is a very small grass around the road. You can see that the playground is not really nice. All of the metal construction have already got rotten. People are playing around. Maria is holding a plastic glass, takes the thread out of it with a needle, and she gives another glass to Vova. Maria is asking, will you marry me? Vova doesn't understand why he should answer to. Maria said, when I'm talking to you, you take it to your ear. When you're saying something, you take it to your mouth. Vova's taking his glass to the mouth. And when? On Monday. I don't want to. But then on Tuesday? Vova, you can ask Serhi. Maria throws away the glass. She goes to the metal construction where the boys are climbing out. There are some of the celebratory first of September decorations. Ivan, age 10, is and Nikita, age 11, playing it. Maria talking to Ivan. Vanya, will you marry me? Ivan, no. Well, not for real. The teacher, Nikita, get out of there. Ivan is holding the metal construction is getting far away from Maria. Scene 3. Interior, exterior in Yura's car by the school day. A red car with a really bad toning on the windows. There is Yura and Olana sitting in the car. Olana is counting the money in her wallet. She has um, a wrapped package. She gets 100 hryvnias of that and gets into the wallet. Yura takes a look at his teeth. Yura said, I need to make my teeth. Olana gets back to him and shows him her teeth that are a little bit diseased as well. Yura goes to her and kissing her and laughs. Maria Clown comes up to the car, opens the door, sits in. Olana's asking her, so how are you today, Maria? Bad. Yura launches the car and starts to go. Olana, what do you mean if everything's bad? You promised me to be good. Maria, no one wants to marry me. Olana, oh, like that. Olana looks at her girl in the mirror, then turns back to her. Olana, you will find the one for you. Yura stops the car by the pharmacy store. Olana gets off, gets into the pharmacy. Maria looks at Yura. Yura gets his lighter and looking for cigarettes. Maria, Yura, will you marry me? Yura smiles and touches her head. She is rushing away. Maria, if you do not want to marry me, I will tell my mom's secret. Yura changes in his face. Olena turns back, sits in the car. She's holding the diapers for adults and some other treats. Maria, Mom, Yura has said he's going to marry me. Yura launches the car and drives. Scene 4. Interior. Interior, the room and the apartment of Yura and Dolana at the time. Maria is sitting in front of the mirror. She's her eyes painted in blue. She's using mascara, opening her mouth slightly. There's a lot of makeup in front of her. There is the wedding dress lying by her side. Olana from the outside. Yura, can you give me the certificate? Yura, and where the certificate is? Olana, under the TV where the documents are. Yura gets into the room. He's sitting by the TV and he cannot find the certificate. Olana is angry. She's entering the room. She takes away the folder from Yura's hands and takes the certificate. Olana, here, put it in. I can't make it. Olana comes up to Maria, looks at her in the mirror. The girl is the girl has her hands on her stomach. Olena, I will tell you how it is. Does it hurt? Maria, yes, it hurts. Olena, ask for a pill if it won't stop. Scene 5. Interior in the shop. Die. The shop is already outdated. There is a lots of different departments in the store for the shampoos, capes. There's a lots of nice necklaces by the hand. Maria is looking at the different kind of rings. There are different prices on the 30, 35, 50. There is one ring with a pink stone in it. She takes the money of it showing on the ring with a pink stone. Maria, can I have this? The selling lady gets the ring and gives it to Maria. Scene number 6. Exterior by the building. Evening. Maria carries all of the products in her package. At her finger there is the very same ring. The girl is get trying to erase the list of the product that says to buy the strawberry cake 40. So basically she just takes away the rings and put it into her back pocket. Scene number 7. Exterior by the house. There's a lot of girls standing in front of the house. Among those is Maria and Nastya, 13 years old. She is the bridesmaid. There are different women standing by the side. One of them is holding a child. There is a man's group, Yura and couple of boys and a neighbor. One of the boys is Vanya, age 12. He's tall. He's the best man. There is the thread between men and women with different packages around it. Yura is wearing the white shirt. The boys are wearing as usual. Some of them have some hats on their heads. The girls are all dressed very celebratingly. They're wearing makeup. They're wearing different kind of necklaces. Nastya is standing in front of all of them. Nastya says, so for you to get into the house, you need to pay the fee. The girls are ransom, ransom. Yura takes the souvenir money and he gives them to Olena and to the girl. Vanya gives the candies to the girl. He's holding the children's champagne in his hands. Two of the girls are stepping aside and starting to eat the candies. They're following what is going on next. Yura, I think it's enough. Olena, no, 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 it's not enough. The girls are looking at the money. The one girl once says, they're fake. Yura, giving the money to the little children, says, here you go, have more. Scene 8. Interior. The entrance to the house. Die. You can see the leftovers of the celebration, the marriage of Yura and Dolana. Then you can see there are some decorations still. Yura's eyes are tight. He's getting inside of the apartment. There is a whole bunch of people around him, and there is Olana and his best man. Yura is holding his hand. Scene 9. Exterior, yard, die. There is the whole table covered. There is a whole table covered in front of the playground. There's many different candies and tasty things. Children are playing in the center. Olena is dancing with Yura. Maria is dancing with Vanya. The bride is wearing the white jumper that is tight, they're very tight on her chest. She's wearing her mother's wedding gown. At her finger, there is the wedding rings with her pink stone. Maria is holding back to the wedding gown, and she's getting back. She's getting to Olena and Yura, so once again to help her with the dress. Olena helps her with the dress. Maria gets back to her. She's making a movement to make a move to the ear. And Maria asking Olana, when they gonna steal me? Olana like smiling. I can't tell you. Olana getting to Maria by the shoulders and get her back to the Yura. And now let us do the train. There is a small boy who's running around and holding Maria on her wedding gown. And Maria, what are you doing? Olana's phone is ringing. She's getting back to answer the phone. Somewhere around you can see that Yura is taking the wedding gown back from the boy and gets it to Maria's head again. The different competition starts. All of the people are being divided into the two teams. Then each of the teams are making a chain. Each chain should complete by making a circle. Nastya is giving out the overall direction. That's all of the train should go. So the team that's whose train has moved without breaking their hands is the winner. Olena, yes. Yes, I'm coming to the door. There's nothing I can say. We can hear on the phone. Olena, okay, I'll be there in a second. Thank you. Olena hangs up. She went to the trains and gets into the one of the trains standing in front of Yura. Olena, I will leave for a moment. The father was falling. Yura said, like, you can go there. You will not going to be there alone or going out doing something with him. Olena, don't say like he's just a bag of potatoes. I'm going to be okay with him on my own. Yura, okay, just call me if something. Olena, don't, everything's be fine. Olena goes when the train is being broken. Maria is standing by Nastya's side. Nastya is painting instrumenting her lips. Olena comes to Vanya. Olena, I need you to still a bride. Have you ever been to weddings? Vanya, yes, I have been there. Maria is sitting at the bench. Everyone is dancing. She's looking for Olena. She's getting to the people who are dancing. Maria talking to Yura. Where's Mama? Yura, she'll be back soon, Sonny. Maria looks at Yura and hits him on his leg. She's running away from him. Vanya and Nastya are leaving somewhere. Maria is asking them, where are you going? Nastya, to Alyonka. The girls come up to them. They're all going together. Nastya, why are you so sad? Maria starts to cry. My mom was supposed to steal me. Vanya, well, she asked me to steal you. I will steal you. Maria, I don't want you to steal me. Maria stops and runs away into the different courtyards. Nastya is trying to catch her. Nastya, do you want to do what as the adults do? Maria turns her tears off and nods. Scene 10, exterior by the side tie. Maria, Vanya, and Nastya are sitting under the table. Nastya is given the champagne, real champagne, into the bottle for the children's champagne. She's given the leftovers to the real champagne to Maria. She smells it, tries it, and spills it. Nastya is laughing. She puts up overall the overall champagne by the table. Maria and Vanya are still under the table. Nastya. So they're getting out of the table. Vanya is holding Maria by the hand. They're running away from the yard. Maria is showing the overall direction. Let's go there. Scene 11. Exterior by the side. There is like twilight. Twilight, it's getting darker. Among the guests, there are more teenagers coming. Nastya is standing in front of the teenagers, the grandchildren, dancing with their grandfathers. Nastya, and now they dance for the bride and groom. Yura is standing somewhere behind the table and drinking. Nastya, tell Yura, where's Masha? The girl says she's stolen, and Yura says, like, can't be. Yura looks around. Yura, okay, let us now find her. Let us do that. 1, 2, 3. Let's go finding the bride. The children are running around looking for the bride. Yura sits by his neighbor on the table. Scene 12. Exterior, interior, in the pigeon yard, evening. Maria is sitting in the pigeon houses. She's taking a look at the ring at her finger. Vanya takes a look outside. Vanya, interesting where all of the pigeons are. You can see how Maria is being looked for. Maria, I'm tired. My stomach is aching. Vanya, they're calling for you already. She stands up and she gets out of the pigeon house. Vanya is following her. They're going through the yard. There is the children playground again. Maria gets on the playground. She does one. She plays at the playground. Vanya, they're calling you. Maria gets to Ivan and she's getting closer to him. She has a white red spot on her skirt. Vanya, Masha, Masha, you have blood. Maria turns back, looks at Vanya. She looks at his back, at her elbows. She asks, where? Vanya is showing her at her skirt. Vanya at her at that skirts. Scene 13. Exterior by the building. Day. Maria gets up to the yard. There, some of the people are already not there. Most of the people who left over are the adults and the teenagers, the children from the yard. Ivan is following Maria. Maria comes up to Yura. Yura goes to Vanya. Good, well done. He takes Maria and he's getting her on her lap. Yura, you gonna be my friend? Maria, where's Mama? Yura goes Humpty Dumpty. Yura goes the Humpty Dumpty movement, and Maria is trying to hold back. Have you been drinking, Maria? No, no, Mama is going to the grandfather's. Just don't tell her. Yura is holding to her back. But Maria is asking for the keys. Yura gives her the keys from the apartment. She takes them and she goes to her house by covering her the spots on her skirts. Scene 14 interiors the apartment evening. Maria goes with the ladder. She opens the doors of the house, and you can see there's a neighbor that's climbing right behind her looking at the girl. Maria gets into the apartment looking for her phone, sits by the mirror and calls her mother. Maria, Mom, where are you? Are you going to be back? Olena, I'll be soon. I didn't want to spoil your fun. Maria, that's okay, but where do we have the medicines? Olena, where's Yura? On the street, Maria. I've just taken the keys. I just wanted to call you. Olena, is everything okay? Maria, yes, everything's okay, just my stomach aches. Elena, you can see the rest, all of the medicines are in the bathroom. Then you can see the analgin it says. Maria takes Maria goes to the bathroom. She can see the hygienic towels there as well. Olena, everything's okay with you? Yes, we were dancing. I just wanted to play a little bit more. Olena, okay, I'll be here. I'm just try to do something, to dress out something different. Maria takes out her skirt. She does all the hygienic procedures. She takes the shirts and creep it. She is the stone from the ring is being cut out with her shirts, and you can see that her finger is a little bit red out of this ring. She's trying to get out the ring from her finger once again. It doesn't work out. She puts the soap on the finger. The ring does not go. You can hear how she's trying to get it out, and she's trying to get it off the ring from her finger. That's it. That's the end. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening as well. We never had a ring that applause, but it was just like okay, so good, good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for reading out with us. So I just want to remind you, please be very active, dear audience. Give us your questions. And Alina and Michelle, in the end, are going to choose the two best questions, and you're going to receive the free coffee from our partner from the Vagabond Coffee House, and you will receive the mask like that. Of course, you're not going to receive my dairy mask. You're going to receive some new one, the good one, never been used. Okay, I think we have some questions coming already, but I would like to start with maybe my own question. This is a traditional question. So, how did you come up with this idea overall? So, what was your inspiration for writing the script? Well, basically, I was watching. No, I was watching this. Why did we have this game here? I was watching the film Skull Number Three, and there was a girl from Donbass, and she was in a very different context. She was telling the story. It was a tragic story that they were playing like a wedding, and the boy who she was marrying, he has died already in the war. And I thought about that. That's very weird that the children they want to try to become adults so fast, and it really resembled to my experience, because for some period of time I was really rushing to do something, and so I really wanted to tell this kind of story about that, about rushing to become adults too fast. It's like that. Yeah, but this is a very interesting topic that you've raised, basically. And thank you. And it was very interesting just for me to know whether there was a real story, whether the story like this has really happened about this wedding. Yes, about this children wedding. No, I didn't have that. I never got married yet, and in the childhood I didn't got married, so I didn't have the stories like that. But you see, like some children have had this kind of stories. They played weddings when they were little, and this girl in the film, she told me that she was, cutting out the part of the part of the garments on the windows just to make it into the wedding gown. So that was the game that they played. Okay, so we have a question from Mykola Denisenkov. Good evening. Translated into English, the main protagonist is basically is called the character. So whether the personalities will meet the personalities of the actors. I really would like to work with amateur actors, actually, with non-professional actors, and I would really like to work with the authenticity of the person. So I think that I would do that. I think that there would be the correspondence between the personality and the actor. The very same thing I would like to ask you about. Aren't you afraid to make films with children? Because you know that is very, very hard, in my opinion. Yes, that's everything that I'm keep thinking about it, and everyone is telling me that as well. I understand that, but I believe that I'm going to be playing against the rules, and I'm just going to ask some of my friends because you know some of my friends they're working in the children's theatrical studios and they're working with their children very good, and you know the children love them. So I think that I'm going to do that if they're going to agree to do that, if they're going to be agreeing to work with me during the filming, because the communication is something that has to be done. You know, this is yeah, because well, the script for me has is very authentic, and you know, it the authenticity from the actors is something that is going to bring it all together. You know, that's a very hard task that you have in front of yourself, but I think it will be good. So we have another question from our audience as well. And the question from Vitalina, why have you decided to make the overall settings that's from Dutra Marianic, basically? So why did you decided to use the outdated reality, the old outdated shops and the old reality? Why have you decided to use this kind of settings? How he really wants to have the coffee good. Um, well, because I understand that this story and those characters are something that is really close to me, and this is something that I can be honest about. And, you know, this industrial city that I'm coming from as well. And yes, I think that was, and, you know, this Yura who has stopped drinking because of her. Because of her, because of his wife, you know, like at the very beginning, you can see that he's actually hasn't been drinking for 2 months already. She wouldn't have married him either way, but I just wanted it to make it very nicely, so you would, so it would be like you know, like a documentary touch to that. So I really wanted to depict those realities because this is something that I have faced. This is something that I can talk about. Okay, speaking about the delicacy, there has been very details, and I'm sure that you might not have interpreted in the right way. And this is the very interesting thing about your story, and some maybe in some way frustrating about your story, because I do believe that maybe there's the most interesting issue in this case, what has happened between Yura and Maria. There was a secret. And why is she trying to get her ring off in the end? And what was the secret that she doesn't want to tell Olana about it? Well, it's a secret. The secret is a secret. Okay. So, okay, I believe that if my characters they have a secret, then like I know the secret, but basically I'm not going to tell you straight away because I believe that the people who have been listening to us, they also had some doubts of whether there has been any kind of sexual subtext, but no, there were no sexual subtext to that. But basically, no one will know that's what the secret was. Why she's trying to get her the ring off. So there was a wedding, and she wanted to make this wedding to be deformed in time. So yes, so the people who have been visiting, there were kids first, then it getting dark, and the teenagers are coming there. There's a different ambience already. That's not the wedding that she has dreamt of. So that is why she's taking out the ring out off, because she doesn't want to get married with anyone. That's not what she wanted. You know, it's not kind of like childish protest about it. But well, first of all, it's really painful for her. You know, she bought it at the very beginning. I just wanted to know that she bought it just because it's really nice. But you know, it's very small for her. You know, what we're thinking about the symbolism, like she wants to take it off because she's already she's becoming a teenager because she's now got her period. Well, yeah, but this is a very, very basically, there was a very formalistic explanation that is just small for her. But yes, this is in some way the refusal, the end of childhood as well. Yes, by the way, want to remind you, you can ask the questions if you have any to Alina, and basically the best questions are going to be awarded with the mask and the coffee in the Vagabond coffee shop. Michelle, maybe you have some questions or impressions about Alina's script. You had covered all of the questions with the secrets. Out of your four questions, three of them were mine. I just wanted to say that I don't know whether it had worked, but it really was very sweet for me. Um, very sweet, very sweet and very nice. So, because basically, yes, but all of the questions that you have had, there was something that I'm really bit nervous and frustrated by the secret. Um, if that's very interesting just for you to know. And why can't you write it somewhere or to show it somewhere in the world? Because like if there's something very cool about the secret, then why wouldn't you give a hint to the audience? Because like for example, if for us in my case, so we also have kind of a secret or whatever, because I've said like what can be can there be some kind of sexual context to that? And I had this feeling that there was some kind of the sexual context, and maybe you should give a little bit of hint to your audience. Well, I think that there is a secret. It will be much more interesting if it's still kept as a secret. Because if I'm going to tell you the secret is not going to be bother to you, well, do not tell me the secret straight away, but give me the hint in the text, give me the hint in the film. Because, the secret is going to be just the secret. But yeah, if I'm going to give you a hint about what the secret is, then it's not going to be the kind of the freedom for playing it out. And because you're trying to think of it, you're trying to think of it, you're trying to building up the context 1,000 times more than if I'll give you a hint. One small hint, one small hint. For example, when you have some kind of a question and you have these keywords and you're starting to think about it because your mind is buzzing around it, it might be wrong, but it still keeps you going. So maybe you can give a hint of this. Yes, by the way, I will agree to Michelle because like if you will already giving up a hint, then there already is there. You said that many people who have read the script, they believe that there is some sexual context. And your secret will be kept with you, but the people will be thinking that this is the story about the child abuse. So basically, if you want to make this opinion, if you want to have this impression made in, then maybe you should give a different hint. Yeah, I've thought about it as well, actually. But why I still have doubts about that? Because this is a very provoking thing. And I didn't want to have this impression that it's a story about the child abuse. I just didn't want you to be distracted by the main opinion. Yeah, I just want to say it is there. So if you haven't told me, then I wouldn't have been 100% sure, but this is the opinions that you have, especially in our times when you can see a grown up and a child and a wedding. Then, yeah, but that's not a final draft, so I'm still going to be working on this. Maybe I will include this as well. Okay, speaking about draft, maybe there are some changes that you have already known. What you want to change, or why you're planning some changes? Specific changes that I really wanted kind of seen that I would like to add up or something to take away. I believe that maybe there's not enough events there, with during the children's wedding. I really want to have a little bit of more emotional downfalls and uprising. So this is something that I'm going to be working on, and dialogues. And dialogues because there's a lot of text and dialogues in between the scenes. You can take away a lot of things and it's going to be more conversive. So those are the words that are basically going to be connected to the actions further on, and you're not going to be noticing it. So this is what I wanted to get with that. So I'll keep on working on that. Yes, and maybe the final question then to your side at this moment. You have shown this part of life, you have been picking up on these characters. They're very live, definitely. And I really would like to know what was at the very beginning of it in their world. So, how did Olena and Yura met? Maybe you know that, but maybe you haven't written it specifically so that the people were thinking about what has happened. Maybe you can share a little bit of the story behind your characters. Yes, well, they've met. Those two people, they're working in the very same water facility, and they're met there because Elena's husband has left her when her daughter was 2 years old. So for me, it was mostly about the girl because the girl does not know how does it feel to have a dad because for the girls it is like this is the first man that you have in your life, and for her this marriage, this fake marriage, is basically the total new experience. So they've met and they're basically, he was drinking hard, but now he stopped drinking. So he made this very good step for her. And she is, this kind of a woman. She went to earn some money and she lost her job that she had had before in this city. She has been working in the musical school before, and then she got to this new place and she decided to work in the water municipal facility. And now there's two people who have left, the two loneliness that have met. Okay, so what Maria thinks about Yura? Maria, well, she likes him a lot actually, but she's really jealous about her mother towards him. So she's very cool when she's alone with him or she's alone with her mother because when she came into their life, she's now sleeping with Yura but not with Maria. So this is kind of the very childhood jealousy, and she's very open about this childhood jealousy towards this guy. Some of the details that you have told us, if I were you, I would include some of those details into the script because they're very interesting. They're giving you the new approach to this world. That this all that you have said, what this is something that I would like to see in the script as well, just to get an in-depth understanding of this world, an in-depth understanding of the story. Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, we will continue. So, once again, we'd like to remind you, ask your questions. We're going to voice out all of those questions and we're going to be answering these questions as well because we always wanted to talk to you. So, let us get to the next script that we have. We have The Territory by Michel Lades. So, yeah. So, okay, I've did it. I did it. You have written it like, okay, 3 times, but okay. I'm sorry, but okay. Okay, you've asked me before, but okay. Okay, we will just cut it out. We will just cut it out in our recording, but the people who have seen us in yes, yes, I'm making mistakes. I'm sorry. So how do you feel today? Aren't you a little bit sad while we're still talking about the first script? Yes, yes, I will really enjoy that, but I have really, really bad, audio thinking. So I've caught some of the moments, but actually I've really liked it. I sometimes I really rarely like what I hear, but it's really hard for me to make a full picture by hearing some text, but it was very good. Have you known each other before that? No? No, so you just met? Yes. Ah, cool. Cool is just an interesting fact. Good. So, Lades. Lades. So, Michel Lades. So, well, yes, I've did it. I've said that the right way. So, I'm going to tell a little bit about you. So, you've been born in 1996 in Kryvyi Rih. That's a very interesting city. Yes, I lived for all my life in Kiev. That was just a small detail. So I'm coming from Kiev. Okay, so I'll just skip it. No, no, it's okay. It's okay. So yeah, that's a very interesting city. So in 2019, you have graduated from Karpenko-Kary National University of Theatre and Film, and if I'm not mistaken, you have been the documentary filmmaking. Yes, I'm documentary filmmaker, and right now you're working as a director. Yes, I'm making money as an editor, but what I really want to do, I really would like to make a documentary film one day, but basically, so I'm still looking for my topic, searching for my theme for 2 or 3 years. And this is, I've decided that I'm going to do a mockumentary. Basically, I'm going to be following the documentary filmmaking, but instead of looking for the topic, I wanted to invent the topic. And you already had a very tremendous experience in filmmaking. You have film 3 by 4. Baramushki. So yeah, that was, yeah, that was the thesis. That was the thesis work. So that was working with Evgenia Jahinyan, and the Nasdaq has been participating in Molodist Film Festival as well. So the legend on the blue cat, and talks to how to make a film about your friend and not to become an idiot. Yep. So okay. So there is quite a wide filmography you have. Well, honestly, I can't say that there's a wide filmography. That was just their student works, and I can at least rewatch just one film out of all of this. So I cannot say that I have a lot of filmography already. Okay, but we still haven't read your short film territory. Can you please tell us what do you like to work more in the documentary filmmaking or in the fiction film? Well, for me, I really would like to make the documentaries actually, but I really, really like the documentaries, and I do not want to make bad documentaries. So, if I can do the fiction, then it's okay. But documentaries, documentaries, no one really actually needs documentaries. Most of the audience, they don't need documentaries, actually. I'm trying to think about these people who are coming for the DocuDays UA film festivals, for example, and the very first time that you have seen the documentary filmmaking, that was like a portrait film, not bad, not good, but just a documentary film that's most of the people have ever seen, and the people will never like to watch this kind of documentary films once again. So that is why I cannot find the topic that I would like to open that would be very interesting for the audience. It would be interesting for me. But yes, my main goal is to make documentary films in the end. But that's hard. I was always afraid of making documentary films, even though I always wanted to make documentaries. But when I'm imagining that you have to be with the protagonist, you have to film here and now, and you have to. Can you be taught to do that, or you just go it with practice? Well, I have really good mentors. I have really good mentors, and I can't say that you can teach that. You can learn to do that, but it's not about being director. It's about being a person. I think it depends on the person. Like I think that's for almost 4 years, I've been making a film about a sect, the you know resurrection that is led by Mr. Muntian. Maybe you have heard about that, and that was very interesting. That was very cool, but there was something that went wrong with this material in the end. And I can't find anything else. So basically, that is why I can't, with those mind games, I cannot find myself a topic, and it's always a little bit painful. Like, okay, I don't know about the others, but I would have watched this film about this religious sect. So, because I don't know what didn't work out for you, but this topic is very interesting, especially based on the scandal in these churches. Well, yes, but I have had a very long period of working on that, but I've had around like 3 enters to this religious sect, and as a sect, it is a pyramid structure. So I've started from the very lowest level, and I've got to this. I was a friend of Muntan's son-in-law, like basically. So you've basically been a member of this sect, or what? Well, I've tried to be very honest, so I've just said, like, guys, I'm atheistic, so I don't believe in God, but that's okay. I've tried to be in some way honest with them, and maybe there was something good and something bad at the same time. But this topic that I really like this topic, and I don't want to make like a film portrait that will be only watched by 3 people and that's it. I want to do something more interesting. I just wanted to do something different. That is why I wanted to make the mockumentary. Yes, by the way, we've got to the script, by the way. So that's very, very interesting. Maybe you would like to add up something before you start reading the script. Well, this is the very first draft, and my mom has read it. My mom has seen it. This is all I can say about this right now. The only thing that's about this, there is the cameo for the person for the musical band. It's been said as Kurgan Aggregate because they're very cool. And they're my dream cast, for just for you to know. This is my dream cast. So you can just think that it's any kind of musical band that you like. So, can we start? Okay, good. So the first draft, the working title is Territory. Then again, working title, it's a mockumentary for 15 minutes. You can see my phone number, you can see my address, but again. Scene number one, exterior evening, the landfills, day one, Grihorovich, documentary filmmaker, and calling there is the birds on the around the landfill. There is an ambient music playing. Grigorich aside, fuck that. Kolinka, can just stand in front of the frame? Kolinka, age 20, is going out through the waste. Hrigorovich, can we do that? The documentary filmmaking. Yes, let us do it once again. Hrigorovich, Kola, just do it once again. Action. Cuts out. Kolinka is standing in the very same place and reading out the text for the camera. Kolinka. And right now, our waste management plant is 30 years old. Kolinka, do that in Ukrainian. If the 30 years, it's a very big celebration for our amalgamated community. And what should I say now? Grigorich comes up to the frame to Kola. Grigorovich, Kola, can't you be the small boy? We have done it many times. The cat's out. Kolinka standing on the very same place and talking to with his text. Kolinka, and that is why we are happy. Cringe pose, and he's thinking how can he complete his speech, and he says, I will tell you that my name is Mykola Antoniuk. Kolinka is showing into the camera. Rehorovich says, that's very boring call. Kolinka, I just wanted to have the psychological agreements, but next week. Rehorovich, what kind of agreements, Kola? That's all unserious, that's all boring. You can see, well, here you see there is a director here, there is that my godson here, and there is the pipeline, and this is the waste. Let's go to the Romans. Rehorovich says, like, everything's going to be fine. We will get the text out of it. You will get the interview, and that's everything will be okay. Let us get to the what that are going on. Roach, are you from Kiev? The documentary filmmaking? Yes, from Karpenko University. We are the film directors. Roach, yes, we have them. People with cameras 40 years ago from some kind of Medvedchuk channel. They've said like Ukrainian Cappadocia bastards. The documentary, yes. Oh, the documentary makers, yes. Okay, they're always doing that. Scene two. Rehorovich and the documentaries are coming to the gypsies. They're coming to the gypsies. By the end of the landfill, you can hear the dogs barking and children crying. One of them, one of the Romas, 40 years, is coming to Rehorovich. Rehorovich, hey, it's Agar. Good evening. We have some guys coming from Kiev. They're making a film about the jubilee of the plant. Zahar is nodding to the documentary filmmakings. Rehorovich, Zahar, tell the people how do you live here and how old have you been living here? Zagar, well, we're living here, working here for 60 years. We're sorting the metals, non-metals. Everything's okay. Zahar looks at the filmmakers and showing them their house. Rehorovich, you can say whatever you want. Pros, cons, how do you live? Everything's okay. Just be yourself. Guys, do you need a little bit of social moments here? Filmmakers, no, we need just to make a nice shot. Rehorovich, you can tell them whatever you want. So I'm getting away. So I'll wait in the car. I'll just get you back home. Zahar is looking at Rehorovich passing by. He's just opening his mouth once again. Cuts out. Zahar is smiling at the other gypsies and smiling. They're ready to get the whole photo. They're dog playing with a toy. Scene number three, Rehorovich, then one, Rehorovich and the documentary filmmaking. Rehorovich is at this wheel of the jeep. The filmmaker. So with him, Rehorovich, are you always at the object? Rehorovich, 3 or 4 times a week. Filmmakers, okay. Filmmakers are still going in silence. Filmmakers, what do you think about the problem of the global climate change? Rehorovich, well, what do you think about that? Well, boys, are you going to be making the film about me or about the plants? Rehorovich laughs, but he's very serious in the rear window, in the rear mirror. The filmmakers, no, we're just very interested about what you think about as a person from the plants. Rehorovich, okay, guys, okay. Rehorovich and the filmmakers are still going in silence. The car comes up to the building. Rehorovich stops the car and gets back to the filmmakers. Rehorovich, guys, okay, if you want to make a movie, I'm going to show you in the movie. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock at my place, we're going to make the real movies. Now go to sleep. Filmmakers, now we need to get the material uploaded. Scene 4, interior morning on the Gregorovic apartments, the filmmakers, Gregorovic and his daughter. The documentalists are putting the microphone on Gregorovic. He is putting, different kind of the office staff and at his table. Gregorovic says, you can do that straight away. You can call me Vadim, you could call me Gregorovic, you can call me Vadim Gregorovic. Filmmakers, very, they said like, okay, we will do that. You are going to be making the subtitles. Yes, of course, thank you. Gregorovic, yes, should not change my voice. Everything that we will have you can put up into the films. Okay, the documentary filmmaking. Thank you, Gregorovic. So okay, guys. So why are you filming me after all? Gregorovic is looking with a question with the filmmakers. The pause is prolonged. The documentary filmmaking, well, you've actually offered us all of this. Gregorovic, no, you need a character, the very nice character, controversial character, social character. The documents, yes, this is going to be the utopia of documentary filmmaking. Gregorovic, well, okay, guys, like I said, all I own here is just this certain this, nothing else. I all have 5 grandchildren. If something will go wrong, they all will always coming up to me. So I'm responsible for everything. And just I have just this cert. The cutouts. For all of my 15 years, this plant has got to the warehouse and the landfill has got by 3 times. The filmmakers, okay, but that's not a good thing. Rihorovich, no, like my plant, it is basically the Hasidim making enterprise. Have you talked to Zahar, to Leila, to Mira, to Panas? Where have you been? At this very plant, all of these guards, engineers, all of those people, I don't even know all of those people. What would they do without it? Filmmakers, well, they could do something different. But Horovich, well, now there's no designers here. This but Horovich continues. This is 70 kilometers to the west. They don't have enough land. Filmmakers, and they don't have enough birds. And don't have enough birds, Horovich says. And why? We have a lot of people that have worked with it. They basically, what do? There's one plans for one building, and people are okay with that. The filmmakers wanted to ask you for them, Horovich, maybe a little bit later, but if you already started this conversation, why are you telling all of this? Like, it's all cool, very interesting, but maybe you'll have something for Horovich smiles. Guys, I'm coming here from 2002. Just imagine, I'm only talking about myself. Everything else changes around me. Sometimes you have to adapt, but I'm only talking about myself. Then you can hear the phone ringing. There is the once again Kurhana Rehat by and their song inquisitiveness. So it might be a different melody basically. Roger says, like, there are many different people there. And he was crying into the other room. Take the phone, daughter. He finds the phone and he goes into the next room. So basically the camera is still recording the sound. The daughter, Dad, couldn't you do that faster? Sorry, we will do. Like, Mash, I'm sorry. Wouldn't you be like, you look so pretty today? Wouldn't you mind? Those guys from Kiev, they're going to film you. Her daughter, okay. The camera gets into the other room. There is daughter in front of the wind mirror. She's age 20 in the office suit. Um, with the of a suit with earrings, and the girl says, this is Maria Vladimirovna, she's our secretary, lady secretary still. So Maria Vladimirovna, what you would like to wish to our employees? And gets the microphone to him. Daughter, so that we would have enough money and enough steam. Grigorovich, Maria, oh, she's very funny, she'll be the president. The filmmaker, so what about those damn guys? Damn guys, devils. Oh, let us talk about that later. Scene 5, the scene 5, the car of Rehorovich. The car is going through the landfill, the wrath of birds lying on the landfill, then again music playing, Kurgan and Agregat. The daughter is sitting at the front seat singing along. The cat's out. The car stops by the plants, the people from the plants, they're all dressed up, they're meeting Rehorovich, and there is Kola again shaking his hand. Kola, everything's almost prepared, the surprise is coming to you. Day Scene 6, day interior, the main building of the plant. There is 10 tables standing in the interior. Part of the people working at the plant are sitting by the tables. Part of the people standing around the Rehorovich. There's a lots of presents around the Rehorovich, flowers, his portrait. There is Kolya standing on the improvised scene. Now there is in front of the room, there is the host, age 30, who is making the main speech. I feel like a lot of you are already positive. So we're going to pass the floor to Mykola Petrovich Antoniuk. Kolya, thank you very much for joining us at this celebration in your working time. He's waiting for the people to laugh. No one laughs. So okay, 30 years is like when Christ that was 30 by 30. Okay, let us turn on the presentation. Grigorovich gives a sign to the filmmakers to come up to him. He has once again Kolya telling about the numbers that the plant has got. Grigorovich, do you drink, guys? Well, just like make it like this. You can just make a film of it, but when everything's going to be, just do the dynamic shot. So we can edit it. You can do this dwarf, or then you can make it more, and for the surprise when it's get back, and then but in the evening we're going to make the film. The host is going to pass the floor to Echo Ukraine, Olena Borisuk, your round of applause. There is a ecology lady comes in up to the stage. The lady of the environment is saying, congratulations, throughout all this time you're working hard for the best of our region. Well done. From the drivers to engineer, I want to congratulate you and thank you. Secondly, I would like to personally thank Mykola Antonovich. Kolenka comes up to the stage. The lady, we're living throughout this time when the young, energy people are definitely investing their youth to the right deeds, being active, and you're this plant is very important for our state. Rehorovich is still looking suspiciously. Please have this green tie on our behalf of our green future. Koля, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your trust. I'm sure that we're going to clean out the environment together. He gets up from the stage, and Grigorovich is hugging him. Grigorovich is giving the microphone and gives them the sign to the filmmakers. Scene 7, again, the room in the plant. The host has a lot of competitions for the workers and the employees of the plant. We can see Grigorichin calling us, what are you doing? What kind of ecology are you talking about? Kola, I don't know. Maybe there was something that I've signed last week. Grigorovich, you want you to understand that, this. What do you think? The age of Christ. Calling, I'm sorry. I maybe didn't know that. They can see the you can hear the garment being torn out. You can see the tire being turned out. So basically, I have a lot of those things like, fuck it all. You will return everything further on. The host gives another prize to the competition. Grigorich get back to the filmmaker. So what was happening here? Scene 8. Then once again, the evening of the very same celebratory room at the plant. The celebration is in full range, in full speed, and the host. And right now, the guys from Kurgan and Agricat have come in to basically congratulate you with the jubilee. So there is the members of the band. So like, let's be quiet. We're not here. So basically, they are signing the band is playing, slightly drunk and which talks to the filmmakers. I am not very young, but I don't care about this music. But it's okay. My girl likes that. My daughter likes it. That's okay. Kola comes up. His tie and his shirt is being teared out. He comes up to Grigorovic and says, Vadim, I was wrong. I was really wrong. I'm sorry. The music is turned out. Everyone likes Grigorovic, the member of the band. So okay, guys, who have this how is this guy's name? What's the name? I'm Mykola Antoniuk. I really sucked up you and Vadim Grigorich. Kolinka, he is the same person and I have sucked him up. I'm sorry, please forgive me. So he was once again gets to Grigorovic. Grigorovic is hugging Kola as a father. Okay, let us continue when the member of the band says. Then again, scene 9, evening, the very same room. There is a slow lyric music playing. Kolinka and the daughter are dancing. Grigorov says like, are you okay with that? They're together? Okay, yeah, they're young. Let them. Kola is a good man. Everything have seen everything. Nothing's going to be happening. But still, well, it's just one time. It's okay. So Kola and the daughter are kissing slightly. They're leaving the house. Grigorovich, they're just okay. I'm just going to control it. Guys, enjoy the evening. The the camera is making film and the documentary filmmakers are dancing in front of the scene. Then you can see the car being turned on. Then you can see the voice of Rihorovich. Oh, fucker. The documentary filmmaking, leaving their drinks and getting to the exit. So we can scene number 10. There is the road to the landfill. The digital silence. The filmmakers are running with the camera on. Then you can see the voice of Rihorovich. So what do you think you are? So just to get my daughter here, your apartment is free. Your apartment is free. Daughter, Dad, don't do that, Rihorovich. Stay there. You think, fucker, that I'm that very good? That like, what do you think? What are you doing? No. Rihorovich, yes, sit there. Yes, Vasinka, this is my territory and this is your territory, you bastard. There is some sounds being heard and the daughter crying. Like, leave the dog here. Let's go, daughter. We can see that there are the filmmakers. He nods to the filmmakers and moves over there. The house of document filmmaker. There is Rihorovich, and then everything is fine. Me, Misha, hi. Yes, hi, Vadim. How are you? Groch, I'm fine. And how are you? Listen, I just wanted to ask you. There was just like, don't you want to come as the guest for the 31st anniversary? Maybe we'll make something else again. The Thai credits are coming, electronic music. There are different shots with the 31st anniversary. There is Hrihora, which is the director, is telling about the plant. He's having the tour. Koda works in the landfill and lives together with the gypsy Hrihorovic in his very expensive suit with the green tie, is giving the impressive speech. Yes, thank you very much. Thank you very much for reading out this. And the main question is who Vadim Hrihorovic is. Well, he's landfill and waste oligarch. Yes. So yes, he is like the person who is trying to get legal in the end. But this like he's a character. He's a character. So basically, he clearly understands who he is, what is his position in the society. So that he understands that the documentary filmmakers are not going to do anything to him. He's okay that there's nothing they can do, and there's nothing going to change his role in the society. So, and I would say that's it's basically when I was working on this script, then I have watched a lot about the Ukrainian waste mafia, and before that I started to write in this, and I saw that that has been some kind of a regional thing, basically, like in Lviv, that has been a problem with waste, and I've always been thinking like there's something far away, but this is a very global problem. And even the legalized landfills, there are not legalized landfills because this is the mafia as any kind of wastelands. That's it. So basically, you can say that all of this story, it has this documentary basis, or maybe you have had a story in your life that inspired you to write the script. No, I didn't have a story in my life that inspired me to write that, but I have read out lots of information about that, and of course, I'm planning to um, in the recent weekend, I'm going to go for the research and I'm going to be, doing the documentary's work. If I was making this film about the documentary, if I was making a documentary, so I would get immersed into all of this and I would do as all of the characters of this film would do. So, okay, in this, you have this documentary filmmaker. Have you made it from yourself, or are you the inspiration behind this character, or that was mostly the observation for your friends? No, it basically, I can't say that you have created it based on me because, it's just a film. It's not like there's no character, there's no personality behind this character, basically. So, yeah, this is the first draft, and we do not have those most of the gags that I wanted to include into that. But what I really wanted to get here are the things that I would do if I was making it. Because, like, for example, I had many times when the people have thought that they're not being filmed, but their voice has been recorded. And there's very real things, not that not as it has been depicted in this script, but the sense is the same. So it is just an overall generalized image of the students, documentary filmmaking student, and that's it. Okay, maybe no personality directly, but I think that when you're going to be filming it, then you're going to definitely have a more deeper personality for this filmmaker as well. And like you have said, this story is going to be completed by the real life. Yes, by the way, I wanted to remind our audience that you can have the questions to Michelle as well. And the person who will have the best question is going to be awarded with a mask with the Contemporary Ukrainian cinema, and will have a cup of coffee in the Vagabond coffee house. Yes, so we have a question to you from Tonya Bartosz. So what did you wanted to say? What was the main idea of your script? Well, the answer is going to be very same. So I was writing a story about fear. So basically, for me, this is the story about the fear of the main character who is afraid of losing something that belongs to him. He's afraid to lose power. He's afraid to lose authority. So everything that he can call his territory, basically. I don't know. I think that it's maybe my idea is not very good. Okay, maybe not the idea, but um, it's okay for me if if people will not be thinking that like okay that it's about that, but I think it will be okay if just people will see that. I don't think that every film needs to have some very big idea. For me, I have some certain idea behind here of the fear of losing out and socially important problems that is I'm going to get it into it, but it's not the essence of it. The essence of it is basically going to be the very specific for every person from the audience, and I don't think that it's a bad thing, because I think that it's very good that some of the films might not have the essence of it, but it's going to be funny. Yes, I will try to do that funny. Okay, so you said you wanted to show the waste magnets and their power that they have. And what I felt that in your script, you can improve it even more. You can show the negative side of it, the negative personality of Hrorovich even more. I didn't get the question. No, that's not kind of, sorry, didn't get the question, how to make it into question. Yeah, like, okay. What I wanted to ask you, let's put it again. Do you want to have you thought about making Hrihorovich into a more negative character, Well, just because you have this idea that you want to show the negative impact of the waste magnets. No, I just don't want to do, I don't want to show him black basically. So he has to be like a certain shade of gray, to put it this way. Because I think that if we have this happy end or whatever, that he's the head right now, he has this green tie that is a symbol of that is basically a symbol of him being eco-friendly. I didn't want to make him strictly bad. Like maybe the dialogues are really bad. I don't really like the dialogues actually. Maybe because of this dialogue, but structure-wise, I don't want to change it. I'm maybe not speaking about the dialogues itself. It's just that, the when he is hitting this guy, not in front of the cameras, but we can see only the sound. We can understand that. Well, yes, yes. Well, he wants a lot of people when I was making documentary films as well, a lot of people, their response is like, no, no, I will never make the film. But every person, okay, not every person, but most of the people, they would really like to have a documentary film made about them. So in my head, this person as Rihorovich, he really wants to do that. He wants to show off with his authority, with his power. He wants to show off with that, and this is one of the moments that he does. I don't want to show that he's like, the antagonist, basically. I just wanted to make it in the small hints. Maybe that will grow into something different, but right now I really like everything. Yeah, this very interesting effect, basically, that you told us about already, that the person who doesn't want to be filmed first and then is looking for being filmed, I don't know, is aiming for this very local fame. Let's put it like this. Okay, Alina, you have heard this script right now. Maybe you'll have your impressions that you would like to share with, or questions that you have. Yes, first of all, I really wanted to say that I really liked the thing with the mic. That's very cool because it gives you the very good drama in that, because some of the events are taking place behind the camera. We do not see that, and it's very good. It's evoking the imagination. That's very cool. And what I didn't get it clear what kind of celebration that is. At the very beginning, there was basically the celebration of the 30th anniversary of the waste plant. The legend of the film is like, if I was been a documentary filmmaking, so for example, I have this character, I want to make a film about him, so I would find any kind of reason to do that, like 30 years of your plant. Okay, let us make the very nice video about it, and we're going to have the concert for that, and then we would have a drink with these people, and then we would making about that. So the main reason is the 30th anniversary for this waste management plant. Yeah, well, thank you. Well, that's very cool. That's very cool. It's a very good concentrated script, like I know a week ago, the next year or whatever. That's the question is about I was thinking about that and all the time, and I really wanted to ask you before you have actually before you said that the documentary is mostly about people, not about the director itself. And I just wanted to say, ask you whether you really think that you believe you cannot learn to be a documentary filmmaking. Well,
Я не
for
кажу, що
me,
це
the
більше
documentary
відеозйомка.
makers, I don't think that it
Мені
depends
здається,
on the
це окрема
director to make a
професія.
good documentary. I think
Тобто, якийсь
it
це
is a
окрема така
separate
професія.
profession. I don't know
Ми
how
сценаристи,
in
оператори.
what way we have been taught. We
Ось.
are a
Але
little bit directors, a little bit
багато людей
script
думають,
writers,
що
a little
у мене
bit
просто бабуся
DOPs,
працювала в театрі,
but you just need to know how
обслуговувала
to work
персонал.
with people.
Вона
You just have to
завжди казала, що
my master, she
є
used to
різниця
say
між
that there is a
режисерською та
difference between
режисерською.
the
І
director's
виходить, що
ethics and the
ну,
people's ethics.
скоріш можна
So,
більше йти до людської етики,
and
ніж
you
до
have to
режисерської.
be
Ось.
going
Це скоріше
towards
компроміс.
being a good person than a good director. It's always a compromise. Yeah, so this is what I wanted to ask you because that was very interesting for me. Because like it was me interesting for me that as a documentary filmmaker, you have a situation to become a director and have this as material or to help a person. Well, you have to look for a compromise. Because I think that every documentary filmmaker at some point, in the third or fifth point of view in their head, when is what they're thinking like, okay, it would be cool if this person would die in the end. I think that all of the people I had, like whatever good person you are, there's always this opinion, there's always this thought in there. So you have to find this kind of balance. Yeah, you have to shrug these thoughts into your head. Yeah, that's a very interesting opinion. And I have another question to you, Alina, because maybe you have thought that's all of it. But Mira, Oyatoro, I'm sorry, I have a little bit of problems with this names. Alina, you're very good. Can you tell us how do you see the producers work in this case? Oh, that's a very important support from my side. Yes, in this work or overall, what do you think about the producers' work? Well, I think that I'm going to add up for a minute about this work. About this work, do you have a producer already? Yeah, I have a producer Anna Savchenko, and I really want Anya to keep on bothering me because I'm a very responsible person, actually, especially if it works with my basic projects or whatever. But I understand it would have been very comfortable for me if I've had this person and Anne is like this, the person that I can rely on, and she's going to help me with the organization of process, she's going to help me with the castings, so when we'll have the person who's going to be dealing with that, because we need a lot of children and it's going to be really hard to do everything on your own. So to help out with all of this process, with all of these organizational things, yeah, just to forget about it, just to not to just forget about it, but at this very moment, maybe I just do not want to forget about those things because I'm still a student. I need to study, and I know that it's all goes up to me. That's all a very good experience. So I really not want to do that like everything is out of my touch and here I am, the director, and that's it. No, I really want to take the hits from all of the different departments of this work, and I really like to learn. And because the producer has to be a very good friend who's going to go with me side by side, and we're not going to be afraid when we're going to have 40 kids around us. Anna, if you can hear us, yes, she's the next room to us. Yeah. Mm. So okay, Michelle, do you have a producer? Yes, I have a producer, and I am working with Olga Vivlida as a producer. So basically, um, for all of my previous films, they have been the students' works, and my budget was 2 bottles of beer, and basically that's it. And it was really easy to get everything organized. And I understand that I do not have the experience to work that. I don't have the skill of working with producers, but I do believe that everything's going to be okay, and I do believe that she's going to help me out. That's very cool that you have the producer with you because basically that it's very important to find your producer. That's very important to find the person that you'll be able to implement your scripts. And I hope that you will be able to film the scripts that you have had. We have more questions from Dmitro Shurham. If the filmmaker students, the one you have the drafts, the people, the teachers who are going to be evaluating the work of the students, no, definitely not. I've understood it for myself, so it wasn't really important for me what kind of opinion, what kind of points I've got. If I made something bad, then I'm ashamed of it. If I've done something good, then how my work has been evaluated is not important for me. So I'm not going to be including those teachers into the script as far as I understand. Yes, in the script, no, there's not going to be any kind of teachers in the script. That's a finalized story. And in the end, they're going to be just as guests invited to the next meeting. That's how it's going to be changed. Okay, another question from Mitra. The 30 years old, the Ukraine is 30, the plant is 30. Is this was it intended? Yes, it was. I've just written the 30 years out of nowhere, but then I said like, okay, that is very good number, very symbolic number. So yes, I've had the very same parallel in my head, and I've thought about this number. So yes, maybe that was intended, but with any kind of additional senses behind that, it just that it was just by chance this thing happened. So okay, I'll ask a question from myself. Maybe you would like to do a cameo in this film and to film yourself in one of the roles as a cameo. Now, every time that I'm hearing my voice in recording, I feel bad, so I think no. But it will depend on the casting, basically. Well, it's again, this is the filmmaker's part is a very small one, so if not going to be the person who's going to say that right, so I will do that. So just as an option. Well, okay, thank you. So I think it's high time for us to choose the best question and to get to the conclusion. So I'm going to remind you some questions that we've had. We've had Mykola Denisenko, who has been asking whether the characters and personality of your characters are going to fit. There was a question from Dmytro Mariarinich, why have you put out your characters into these really great settings? We have the question from Valeria Suchivets. I'm going to ask this question right away. So what was the moment for for you as an author, your character gets older when she's coming out of age? I think that this moment when she's not being looked for, when she, well, it was clear from the text, I guess, that Nastya has given the real champagne to this children champagne, and so there's a person with addiction, and he has drunk a little bit of alcohol. So yes, this Yura, she liked him a lot. She's kind of irritating for her, but she's irritating for her because she likes him a lot. And when she sees this person, this very nice image of a father figure, when she has seized him in this kind of situation, that maybe that's the moment when she grows old, and this all of this celebration is being destroyed. So yes, this is the question that I haven't seen that in the script when I have been reading it, but right now when you have said that it was quite clearer for me about this moment. Yes, so this is a very good question, by the way. Okay, good. So there was a question from Valeria Suchevets, and there was a question from Mira Oitoro about the work of the producer and the working with producers, and that's it basically. Yeah. Well, I think that let me the first person who have asked about the characters and personalities, because I will buy Dima coffee just because of that, because this is again, he was really laughing out when I was adding up into my presentation of the setting. So there's a long story behind this question. So Dima, I will buy you coffee for that. But and we're going to buy coffee for Mykola Denisenko, or I don't know where is the right emphasis to that. I'm reading your names in a very bad way. So Michelle, your turn to choose. So there was a question from Tonya Bartosz about the actors, whether you're going to be looking for the actors for this film, or maybe I haven't voiced it out. Oh, you haven't voiced it out. Okay, so you can answer that. Well, you'll be choosing the actors for this film, or this is going to be the amateur actors as well. Yes, I'm going to would really like to for me to have the professionals here, but I have some certain images. I have the very typecast for this main character, and so Mr. Povoroznyuk, the head of the Ingulets club, if you will find this kind of actor, I'm always ready to that. And I really would like to have the professional actors there because they can do that in a better way. But I do believe that I'm really depending on the typecast. So if I'm going to be find the professionals, then I'm going to be do the amateurs. But I will try to find the professional actors still. the question from Tonya, another. So, what was the main idea of the story? You've answered this question already. Dmitro Shulha was asking you whether you're going to be introducing the teachers who will evaluate the work of the documentary filmmakers there. And Dmitro has asked about this, whether there is the dependency between 30 years of the plant and 30 years of Ukraine. So I think that, yes, the coffee goes for the Tonya Bartosh about the actors, because that was a very important thing for me, and I'm considering that as well. And I do hope that I will be able to find the normal castings and everything will work out fine. Yes, that's definitely very important. And I just want to wish you all the best. I wish you to make those films as soon as possible, for them not to be laying on your bedside, for them to be implemented, for them to be created, so that the stories would continue their life in the rooms of the film theaters or online. Yes, thank you. And I wanted to remind our audience that soon enough, we're going to have the new events of the Film Wednesday going on. We're going to have the public talk with the casting director, Olga Lubarova, casting about how to get into the film. It's going to be held on the 18th of May online, and there's going to be the screening of the film Lion that is going to be held on the 26th of May at 7 o'clock. So that was the reading of the still unmade short films. We had Alina Panasenko, Michelle Ladas. Thank you. My name is Pavlo Ostrikov, and that was the Film Wednesday with the support of the Ukrainian Cultural Foundation. Thank you very much and goodbye.